would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
That right there is why Kamala Harris is in trouble. That televised response was so miscalculated that Donald Trump's campaign is now literally playing it on a loop at their rallies. In a more recent interview, Harris was given a second shot. This is what she said.
You're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency.
The election's closing in, Harris's approval rating is going south, and the Democrats are growing anxious. Where did it all go wrong? Let's start with that response on The View. For Harris to say that she wouldn't have done anything different from Joe Biden over the past 4 years was a very poor move. Now, of course, we don't expect her to just go slamming her boss. But since the beginning of her takeover, it's been crucial for Harris to distance herself from the Biden campaign, partly to avoid being associated with his stumbles, but more importantly because voters want change. Come Election Day, one of the biggest questions on American voters' minds will be, am I better off now than I was 4 years ago? For many of them, the answer will be no. And if Harris equals Biden, Harris equals continuity. Her literal campaign slogan is a new way forward. But the message voters could take from those sound bites is she doesn't know what that new way looks like. And the polls are reflecting this, with Harris and Trump now tied in a handful of swing states that will more or less decide the election. Harris is generally more popular among young voters and women, but she's struggling to gain the vote of Hispanic and African American men, which is a key demographic where Trump is gaining ground. Now, the polls aren't everything, and the election is still anyone's game. But judging by the recent backlash, Harris will need to do more than just promise a new way forward. She'll need to convince voters that there actually is one.